Okay, here goes another one of my unedited how to do it's. I got this little Triumph, really nice shape. Unfortunately, as you can see here, broken off. Outboard handlebar broken off. So here's how I'm gonna fix it. I don't know how anybody else fixes them, but this is how I fix them. 1 second, let me get my Dremel. What we've done is I put on this diamond deburring bit right here, and you come along and you've got to take it and you've got to work away a slot in here by getting rid of a lot of the old handlebar and then making a nice little slot right here where the old handlebar was protruding, because you want a little socket or pocket to be able to glue that down in here. Okay, if you just try to glue it straight on to the end of the broken piece or file it flat, you have so little glue that if you handle it, you'll probably end up breaking it off. If you drop it even a few inches, you probably break it off. And if you're going to mail it to somebody, it's unlikely to make it through the mail. So here's what we're going to use. I'm going to use this 16th of an inch aluminum tubing that you get at the hobby shop, along with the other structural metal pieces. And then I put a bend in it right at the end so I can facilitate that handlebar look. Now how I do that is I take a piece of a pop rivet and I slide it on there, okay, and now I've got some place to form my bend. And if you're worried about crushing the other part, you can just take one of these stainless steel straight pins and insert it into the center of your tubing, and now you've got a reinforcement to keep from crushing it. So if you want to bend right there, then here's what you want to do. You want to put this in here like that. Now bend at that point using this piece of the cut off shaft of an old pop rivet. Okay, so then what you do is you come up with this bend that like I've got right here, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to be fitting this into the slot. Let me try to get some of this background stuff out of the way so it shows up. You've got that slot carved out. You want to mimic the shape of the existing handlebar. Then you want to make yourself a mark where you're going to clip it off. And I am literally just going to snap it off using a razor knife on a hard surface. And I'm going to go a little bit beyond that mark I've made. I don't know if you can see my mark there. Let me get it where it's focused. Where the hell is my mark? Yeah, I can't even see it in this. Anyway, I've made a little mark there on the it's right there. And I'm going to go a little bit bigger than the mark. And the reason is because I can file that down closer to my mark very easily after dry fitting it. And okay, just start working that. And you don't want to chop all the way through it because you're going to launch it off of the workbench or somewhere. So unless you're working inside of a nice little contained area with a catch tray, there's a real simple way to make sure you don't launch those parts away. And if it were so simple, I'd already be set up to do it, but I'm an idiot, so I'm not. What you're going to do is you're going to take you're going to take one of these little small plastic bags. I'm so sorry about that. You're going to take one of these small plastic bags. You're going to slip, they're clear, so you can see what you're doing right through them. You're going to put your pieces side of it. Now I can see my mark and everything. And then you're going to cut it off, okay? And then the plastic bag is just going to stop you from launching this part halfway across your work area. It's just going to capture it right in there. Of course, you're going to cut the bag at the same time, but Who cares? It's just a plastic bag. Now just work the razor knife until you start to get through, and then it'll just pop off. I'm 3/4 of the way through now. Working, 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 working. Okay, that should be enough. It should just snap right off. Yep. There we go. Now, see, I've not launched my part. I've kept everything right there. If I can get it out of the freaking bag. Okay. There. Duh. All right, let's see how that looks when I match it up to my motorcycle. Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Okay, here's my little motorcycle. Now I'm going to put that, I'm going to glue that right down into that. What I'm going to do is I'm using this pin now to hold it and line it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this straight pin inserted in there, and it makes a perfect handle to work with this. Okay, so I've got that notch in there, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to epoxy or super glue that in there at the right angle. You want to pay attention to all of that, and so that it looks good. All right, and I'm looking at it right about now, and right there, it's just about perfect. And it's going to have the right angle of the dangle and the right shape. So, actually, I think it might be just a little long. So I'm going to knock just a little bit off of this backside. Not much, to tell you the truth. Not much at all. I'm just going to file away a little bit of it. All right, I put all this stuff right here, easily within my reach for this video, and now, of course, everything is completely lost. I'm just outside of the edge of the camera, so I'll bring this back over here. I would lay it flat normally so that this part is hanging off the edge of my work surface, and then just use that way. It's a lot easier to file that way, and then just take a millimeter, maybe half a millimeter off of this. It's aluminum, files very easily, no big deal. Okay, and then I'm going to put my pin back in, and then you're going to say, oh, but it's got a hole in the end of the handlebar. Well, we're just going to fill that with some glue really easily. Just off the tip of a pin, we'll fill up that hole in the end of the handlebar. Now, this isn't going to be 100% perfect, but I'll tell you what, you know, when you get that glue joint filled in and you've got it painted and sitting in the cabinet, it's going to look really good. I mean, it's certainly going to look better than having a broken off handlebar. And in your display cabinet, I doubt if anybody's going to notice it. So, yeah, you can super glue that. You can epoxy it. If you use the super glue, get the accelerator or activator for it, okay? And that way you can take your part, dab it in the super glue, put it in place, and with the other hand, you can either spray it or put a drop of the activator right on it, and then count to 10, it's done. And then you can come back and fine tune the thing and paint it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this and then some stills. Thanks for watching.